Hello and welcome back to Invincible Asia. I'm George Clark and this is another episode of Show and Tell, where today I'm going to share with you my full Hwang Jang Lee collection. Don't forget folks, before we go any further, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, ring the bell and all that jibber jabber, and thank you very much for supporting Invincible Asia. So if you have been following the channel, you will know, of course, I did have the pleasure of meeting this incredible martial arts legend, share some tea with him, share stories about his movies. It was just one of the best experiences of my life, and you can go back through the channel and watch that video of our exact meeting. It is well worth checking out there, of course. Now, while I was on that trip to Seoul, I did manage to pick up this incredible poster, original poster of one of his 1982 productions, which was released here in the UK as Hard Bastard, but a gorgeous poster nonetheless, which I now have framed because he did sign it for me. And apart from that, of course, I did pick up his new biography, which is just incredible. Of course, it's all in Korean, but I have Google translated everything in there, and it is well worth the read. Of course, I did get him to sign that for me too, which I wasn't going to walk out without having that signed. But this is a fantastic book, and it is definitely one that you should try to get your hands on. The autobiography of the Silver Fox himself, and I mean, just a wonderful guy all round. So this is a collection I really wanted to share with you kind of when I really got back from that trip in April, but life of course has just taken over. There's been so many new releases and other things I've got to catch up on. I'm only just getting around to it now, and of course this is really out of respect for that man, out of respect for Hwang Jang Lee, for not just for having me round for tea and signing a few of my things, but also to thank him for the incredible decades of entertainment that he has given us. So of course I am going to start with my videos that I have of Hwang Jang Lee's into the DVDs, Blu-rays and so on, and then finish with that complete collection just to share with you and him, if he is watching, the amount of movies. I don't know how many I've got, but I'm excited to find out. Anyway, let's get stuck in. So this is pretty much all the videotapes I have of Hwang Jang Lee movies. Hwang Jang Lee starring, co-starring, appearing, guest starring, maybe cut in from other movies if it's a Godfrey Ho or IFD production. You never know. But I do know that I had a lot more of his stuff on video. And of course, back then, teenage me didn't know about Invincible Asia or what was going to happen in the future. And when the video player chewed up and spat it out, I threw the tape out. Didn't think about keeping the cover, or maybe I traded that movie that I didn't really like so much in for another video, and so on and so on. Lots of excuses, but also lots of regret, because now it's a personal thing and I really wish I had those videotapes back featuring this incredible martial arts star. But still, there's enough here and I've got to get through the DVDs and Blu-rays, etc. So it is going to be a lengthy enough little piece to share with you all the titles I have on Hwang Jang Lee. So let's get started, and the first I will start with is probably one of his most famous, which is of course Snake in the Eagle's Shadow with Jackie Chan. And the first time I ever saw this was via the Made in Hong Kong video release. I had never seen this video or film, sorry, prior to that. I couldn't find it anywhere on my travels, and this was pretty much a first time watch for me, and it was amazing. And of course you can see Master Wang on the back here. It is just a genuine classic of Kung Fu cinema. Of course it is. Then I had some fan mail sent in, and one of those was its original UK video release on the Rank video label, and this is just a gem. I never imagined in my life ever owning this, and here we have it. Now on the back they call him Hwang Jang Lee. Now spell Juan like it's a Spanish name, but in the movie itself, if I remember correctly, in the opening credits, even though they name him that, they put in brackets aka Hwang Jang Lee. I don't know why they just didn't do it like that, but this is a gorgeous, gorgeous piece and a fantastic dub, and just amazing to actually hold it in my hands and have this in my collection. In fact, if I ever go back to Korea, I'm going to take this and Drunken Master back with me to get signed, because that would be incredible. And then there is the Hong Kong Legends video release of Snake in the Eagle's Shadow here, as you can see. Now, this again was sent in as fan mail, because when Hong Kong Legends came out, I really focused on their DVD market. I didn't go down the road of buying any videos from Hong Kong Legends. Of course then, Drunken Master quickly followed that throughout Jackie's career, and Hwang Jang Lee returned in probably one of his most defining roles, and I do love him in this. It is an incredible movie, and again, this was the Made in Hong Kong release. That was a first time watch for me, and it just blew me away. It was incredible, and it's still incredible today from everyone involved, so I absolutely adored this. Then, of course, the fan mail that came with Snake and the Eagle Shadow was also joined by Drunken Master, the rank video release of Drunken Master, which again just blew my mind. I never thought I would have these in my collection, and here we have both of them, which is just simply amazing. So again, if I go back, which I will be taking those with me. We have got the Hong Kong Classics retail video of Shanghai Express, or Millionaires Express, which I love the Hong Kong Classics label, but this movie is just fabulous. And of course, Hwang Jang Lee plays a Japanese samurai in this alongside Yasuaki Kurata and Yukari Oshima. I do believe that even though he is of Korean descent, Hwang Jang Lee was born in Japan before moving back to Korea. But yes, this movie is fabulous, and I have countless versions of this, which is just great, and I never tire of watching it. It is a genuine classic, but he is fantastic in Shanghai Express, or Millionaires Express. He's also fantastic in this bonkers movie from IFG, Ninja Terminator, the infamous Ninja Terminator. Now, of course, we just all got recently graced with a Blu-ray edition of this movie, which is fabulous, and I will share with you when we get to that. But this little video was one of the first that I had ever seen. I remember having a big box of this, and I'm nearly sure that that one has been chewed up because it's not here. I've searched all over and it's no longer here, but I still have this little retail version, which I'm quite happy with. But yes, I think that Ninja Terminator is the one where he has the blonde wig on, which I did point out to him when I met him, and we did chuckle about that because he has wore some crazy wigs over the years. Now, of course, this isn't a Hwang Jang Lee movie, but he does appear in the best of the martial arts, and this would be clips from many of his Golden Harvest productions, specifically Shanghai Express or Millionaires Express. But this is my all-time favorite Hong Kong movie documentary, and if you have not had the experience of this, please do yourself a favor because it will blow you away. Then I have the Eastern Heroes video release of Hitman in the Hand of Buddha, and actually this is the film that is playing behind me, and this is Hwang Jang Lee's directorial debut, which I love. I think it's a fabulous movie. It pretty much shows you Wang in a completely different light to what we're used to seeing. To be in this Silver Fox or this Thunder Leg, it's just a completely different movie, and he is fantastic in it. And I just wish we saw more of him as this jovial hero. But this is a fantastic video. Of course, what's playing behind me is the Eastern Heroes DVD. But this I will never part with. I think it is just fabulous, and he is brilliant in this. What a great job on your directorial debut. Then I have the Eastern Heroes video release of Eagle versus Silver Fox. Now, I watched this quite recently, actually. I love the cover of it. It's a very colorful piece. Really enjoyed it. But this I have twice. So this, of course, is the retail version from Eastern Heroes. But I do have it. Yeah, I have a big box X rental from VPD, and this was the original one that I initially got. Picked it up for about £3 early on in my collection, and probably one of my earlier Hwang Jang Lee movies, which I just love. But that cover is fabulous. The whole design on the back is brilliant, and that artwork is stunning, absolutely stunning. But the very first, and I'm nearly sure of it, apart from perhaps No Retreat, No Surrender 2, perhaps, but I'm nearly sure that this is my earliest Hwang Jang Lee movie. Credited as Hwang Jang Lee on the back, stars with Dragon Lee, as he has done for many movies right through to the 90s. But this is a fabulous kung fu movie. There's nothing original about it, but the fight scenes and Hwang Jang Lee as the bad guy is brilliant and I just love it. What do we got there? Oh yes, Emperor of the Underworld 2 with Hwang Jang Lee and Dragon Lee, as I talked about. And of course on the front there you can see, hopefully, the signature that he signed for me. So I picked this up at Korea Disco in Seoul. Check out the link below to visit that website. It is highly recommended. But yes, when I was searching through the videos, there he was on the front cover. Where is it? Up here. And I thought, I cannot leave the shop without this because this needs to be signed. And sure enough, he did that for me. But Emperor of the Underworld Part 2. I've yet to see Part 1, but it is a lot of fun. It's a Korean movie, of course. Now this one is an interesting one. The 4 Shaolin Challengers. You can see Hwang Jang Lee on the front. But I have scoured this movie time and time again and I cannot spot him, and it's not on his filmography. So this is clearly just to sell the movie, which it done. This is actually starring Larry Lee. Bruce Leung is in there also, and it's an okay kung fu movie. But Hwang Jang Lee, as much as he is on the front here, is not in that movie, so don't be fooled. Then Future Hunters. I adore this movie. It is fantastic. Bruce Lee with one E is in there, or Bruce Lee, along with Hwang Jang Lee, Robert Patrick from Terminator 2, and a host of other things, of course. But this is a lot of fun. It is pretty wild. And Richard Norton, of course, I forgot totally. Richard Norton is in here, and that was one of the first reasons why I picked this movie up when I saw his name. And then I was very surprised to see Bruce Lee and Hwang Jang Lee pop up in there. But this is a really fantastic movie, and it's a movie I would love to see someone like Vinegar Syndrome restore and put out on Blu-ray, because it is a lot of fun and very, very different to all the other movies that Hwang Jang Lee was starring in or making at this time. Then we have Game of Death 2, the old UK X rental, Rank Home Video X rental, and of course Hwang Jang Lee is a massive part of this, as is his student Roy Horan. But you can see him on the back here, which is just fantastic. But this was sent in as fan mail, and I didn't even know that Rank did rental copies, but I was so happy to get it, and it is just a fabulous piece. This, in fact, I have the Bruce Lee collection of Rank releases, but the smaller retail versions, and I only need Game of Death 2 and Bruce Lee the Legend to complete that collection. So let me know if you have it and you don't want it, please. But this, yes, a fabulous movie for Hwang Jang Lee. Just what a showcase. Then, of course, Iron Angels. And again, a movie that blew me away. I just got the Vinegar Syndrome Blu-ray releases. I mean, incredible. But this was the first time I had ever seen this movie. Picked it up for £3. Did not know that Hwang Jang Lee was in it. When I saw him, fantastic. It just took that up another level for me. Of course, Yukari Oshima, who he starred with in Shanghai Express or Millionaires Express about a year before, maybe. They starred together in this. Moon Lee, of course, this was my first major action movie with Moon Lee, and it just blew me away. But this is a treasure piece. Now, Hwang Jang Lee is kind of a co-star in it. He's pretty much throughout the whole story, and he does get 1 or 2 decent fight scenes in there. It's also Magnificent Warriors. I mean, what a movie. Fantastic fun. And again, Hwang Jang Lee, just a different role altogether, but still playing the villain. And this is a fabulous, fabulous show all round. Of course, I have it now on DVD, on Blu-ray, and multiple versions of this fantastic movie, but he is fantastic in that as well. Then Martial Monks of Shaolin Temple. I love this movie. So this is like a companion piece to 5 Pattern Dragon Claws. Also stars Dragon Lee, has that same feel and energy, and of course Hwang Jang Lee is a great villain in this yet again. But look at that cover with Dragon Lee on there. It is wonderful. And on the back there's about 2 or 3 clips of Hwang Jang Lee. Hopefully you're picking that up there. But another wonderful VPD release, and it's been in my collection for well over 30 years, maybe 35 years at this point. And of course, No Retreat, No Surrender 2, which is just an amazingly fun movie. Lorraine Avedon, Cynthia Rothrock, Matthias Hughes, and of course Hwang Jang Lee, who I just loved. And that's why I say this is probably one of the earliest I had seen him in. before owning this X rental. I maybe owned the other movies prior to this, but I did see him in No Retreat, No Surrender 2, which I loved. It is just such a fun movie. And then we have the classic Secret Rivals. Now, I do remember picking this up. I remember the shop I picked it up in, but the cover itself was pretty crap. It's a really badly designed low-res cover. I mean, the pictures in the back are so blurry, but it was £3, and I just saw this guy flying through the air, and I thought, that looks fun. I'm going to pick this up. And when I got home and realized who it was, the Silver Fox, I was just like, this is incredible. And sure enough, such a fabulous film, a genuine classic of Kung Fu cinema. And Wong Tao, John Liu, Hwang Jang Lee, they're all amazing throughout that. So definitely one highly recommended, and one that I really hope that we get a Blu-ray release from, because it is highly deserved, as is its sequel, of course, which I don't have. Shanghai Express, of course, the VPD X rental release, and I have done a video on this on my VHS Rewind, but you can check that out, of course. But this, again, was a movie that I searched for years after watching Best of the Martial Arts movies. I really wanted to see the whole movie, and I tell a funny story in that episode of VHS Rewind as to how close I was to watching it, but it never happened, and it still took me even more years after that to finally find this and pick it up. But yes, wonderful movie. This I would have seen before the Hong Kong Classics retail version came out. So that there I do have numbered as 103. That was the 103rd movie that I bought in my collection, basically. I used to number them until it got too much, and no more. So, Shaolin vs. Ninja, the last video of the lot from director Taylor Wong. I adore this movie. It is fabulous. Known more to fans as Return of the Deadly Blade, stars Norman Choi Kung, David Chang, Mars is in there, Yasuaki Kurata. I think the action is by Tony Ching Suttung, but it is a fantastic movie all round. But Hwang Jang Lee does guest star throughout this. It's not a main role for him, but it is a worthy one. And this video, again, I've had for over 30 years. I still go back to it. I still love it. I'll not be getting rid of it. Anyway, let's move on to the DVDs. So yes, the DVD collection of Hwang Jang Lee movies, and also 3 VCDs, which I just remembered that I had. The first of which is the awesome and very underrated Buddha Assassinator, starring Hwang Jang Lee, of course, and Meng Hoi, who does a fantastic job throughout this. And even though he's not an A-list star, holds his own against the master kicker himself. You've Chin Yut Sang in there and a host of others, and it's been some time since I last watched this movie, but I really hope that someday soon we will see a Blu-ray release of this incredible movie. Following that, I have the VCD of Drunken Master sent to me as part of a box of fan mail, so I've yet to delve into this and see how it goes. And really, there's no need to at this stage with the amount of incredible releases that are already out and above quality on this, but who knows, someday I might venture into it. And then there's this little rarity which I adore, and it is on or in the catalogue of Golden Princess titles that Shout Factory and Arrow Video will be releasing in America and the UK, and that is The Innocent Interloper, an absolute favourite. It is bonkers. You have Lawrence Ng and Elaine Loy leading the way there. Hwang Jang Lee pops up throughout it, Danny Lee, Shum Wai, Michael Chan Wai Man. I mean, it is nuts. Directed by Shaw Brothers Bad Boy, Johnny Wang Long Wei. This is a really crazy martial arts action comedy. It is just off the wall, and probably not for everyone. So it'll be interesting to see how both Shout Factory and Arrow Video approach it when it comes time to its Blu-ray release. But I really can't wait for that one. It is awesome. Okay, in terms of the DVDs, I have got 5 Dragon Claw, or 5 pattern Dragon Claws, I should say. This is a really cheap release. It's only a slight upgrade from the video because the quality isn't much better, to be honest. I picked this up for £1. This person isn't even in the movie. That's really just real cheap art put on there, and you can just get a small clip of Hwang Jang Lee in the back there. Although he is mentioned in the front, on the front, which is fabulous, and of course always a bonus. Then we have the Soul Blade and Dragon DVD release of Dance of the Drunk Mantis. Now this again is a movie that should have its own Blu-ray release because it is epic. Kind of seen as the official sequel to Drunken Master, sometimes known as Drunken Master 2. It is just incredible, and again, such a highlight for Hwang Jang Lee and everyone involved. Of course, Yun Shun Yi is here, Yuen Wu-ping's directing, and of course his late father, Simon Yun, as the Drunken Master again. But it's quite a different movie overall to Drunken Master. I adore it, and again, in terms of a Hwang Jang Lee movie, it is up there because he is just fabulous throughout this. I do have the DVD version of Best of the Martial Arts Movies as The Deadliest Art, and of course as soon as I picked this up online to kind of upgrade from that video, then suddenly it came out on 2 Blu-rays. So we will get to that, I'm sure, at some stage. If not, it is both in stateside and in the UK. It has been released accompanying other movies. I think Righting Wrongs from Vinegar Syndrome, and I can't remember what Eureka's was, but it is out there. Anyway, Demon Strike on the Vengeance label. This movie is awesome. And this, I mean, I know it's not really got a massive audience or following, but this I would love to see on Blu-ray because it is just something else. Hwang Jang Lee is kick-ass in this, but you've also got Leung Gar-yan and Jason Pai Pao, and they are all just incredible. But this movie, I might actually watch this tonight because it is fabulous. And just look at those clips. Hopefully you're picking them up of everyone in action on the back there. But this is an incredible movie, and if you could get the chance to watch this, whether it's via DVD or on YouTube or whatever, until this gets a restored version, you should check it out. It is fabulous. Honestly, let's lobby it. Let's lobby it. Okay, I have 3 versions of Drunken Master here. The first was the first upgrade for me, which is the Hong Kong Legends DVD, which of course, going from that Hong Kong made in Hong Kong video to this was an incredible jump because you had some extra features there, interviews, things like that, but also that digital upgrade to this incredible movie. Definitely a genuine classic of Hong Kong cinema. Then I imported the German DVD, as you can see here, which again is just fantastic, and you can see Hwang Jang Lee on the back here, but a very different approach to its marketing than the UK release. And then when I was on my trip there to Korea and Japan, I picked up in Japan Drunken Master, and I did have Master Hwang sign it for me, which was just incredible. He was quite surprised to see it, and it is quite a generic cover released in many countries. Even here in the UK it has had this cover release, but just to have the Japanese writing on there made it even cooler, and now to have his signature on there is even better. But this again, now a treasure piece of my collection. Not going to be going too far, that's for sure. I have the Hong Kong Legends DVD of Game of Death 2, Tower of Death. And again, we're going to go upgrades again to Blu-ray with this, but this would have been just a gem to have that digital restoration of this fantastic and very underrated, because it's not genuinely a Bruce Lee movie. A lot of people tend to diss this really badly, and I feel as a standalone Kung Fu movie, it really has a lot to offer, and of course Hwang Jang Lee is just incredible in it. There we have the Vengeance label release of Hard Bastard. What they say this poster is, but I don't know. I'm not feeling that this is the right movie, that this is the connection. I feel that this is actually something else, and Hwang Jang Lee did tell me the title of it, but in Korean, and of course I couldn't remember that, so I couldn't really figure it out, but I will. But for now, Hard Bastard on DVD is amazing, and I really love Hwang in this. He does a fantastic job. I think he's a good guy from what I can remember, but it is a fabulous show all over, and definitely one worth checking out or picking up if you get the chance. Hitman in the Hand of Buddha, we talked about on the video. This is the Eastern Heroes DVD release, of course, and this is it playing behind me. And what this offers you is that same English language version release, but also this director's cut in Korean with English subtitles. A bit of a rare find. That's the one I'm playing behind me here. No doubt YouTube or Wu-Tang, the Wu-Tang channel will pull me for copyright infringement there, but hopefully not. Hopefully not. Anyway, this is a great release, and to have those two different versions on there is wonderful, but another movie that I would love to see restored and put out there on Blu-ray. It would just be incredible. The same can be said for this, The Invincible Armor. Wow, what a movie. I mean, you've Hwang Jang Lee, John Liu, Tino Wong. It's just an incredible movie all round. And again, I think it's choreographed by Yuen Wu-ping. Yep, Yuen Wu-ping, Yoon Chung-yan, and so on. And directed by Eun Si-yoon, of course. So these guys all got together for, or had been together for Snake and Eagle's Shadow, Drunken Master, and so on. I'm not too sure what came first, but this is a fabulous, fabulous movie. And one, again, that deserves Blu-ray treatment. And there's a lot of these classics, especially 70s kung fu movies, that I feel are kind of left behind and forgotten about because there are A-list titles that are beating them to the mark. But there's a few there that definitely deserve to have that restoration. Iron Angels I shared with you on video, and here it is on DVD. And this was my first upgrade of this tremendous, tremendous movie. Unfortunately, they don't have Hwang Jang Lee on the front or on the back, which is just a damn shame. I feel that would have been more star power, but that is a gorgeous release nonetheless, and I really love. Even though I've got the upgrade to Blu-ray, I'm not going to be getting rid of that. This though, I might get rid of. So this is a kind of a bootleg from eBay, and it's 4 movies, the Angel movies, all 3 Iron Angels movies, and another movie called Raging Angels. And of course, I'm only sharing this with you because Hwang Jang Lee is in the first one, but it's not a great quality set overall. So maybe don't buy that if you see it kicking around on eBay. The Hong Kong Legends DVD upgrade and digital restoration of Magnificent Warriors, which again, just brilliant to have to go to that upgrade from video, and it just makes you enjoy the movie even more. Of course it does. And as I said with the video, Hwang Jang Lee is fantastic in this. Not an extensive role, but he's still fantastic, as is Millionaires Express. So of course, the video releases put it out as Shanghai Express, and Hong Kong Legends now putting it out under its original title. And again, just to get that digital upgrade, to see this movie much cleaner than the video releases, of course, and in its original language with English subtitles, was a damn treat. And so many extras, etc. And of course, we're going to go on to Blu-ray with that, which is just amazing. And this, oh, I love this movie. Ninja in the Dragon's Den, Hiroyuki Sanada, Conan Lee from Eun Si-yoon, Corey Yuen Kwai, and Hwang Jang Lee is hilarious in this. I mean, again, did not expect to see him here because he's kind of not really highlighted on this at all, but when he appears, he's so much fun. Such a different role altogether, and the dub with him is hilarious, but it is an absolutely top class movie. I do have the German Blu-ray media book release, which I'm going to share with you, but this definitely needs to be put out here in the UK or elsewhere, restored, beautifully restored on Blu-ray, without a doubt. The DVD release of Ninja Terminator. Now again, this is another £1 release, and the Hollywood DVD label isn't really anything to get excited about, but this did have better quality than the videotape. I'm not going to lie, even though it was cheap, it was still a better watch. But just another wee fun piece to have, of course it is. As is the No Retreat, No Surrender 2 DVD. Now this, again, isn't great quality, much better than the video, of course, but it's certainly not like anywhere close to HD. It's still much more enjoyable, and it's the version I go to watch this movie when I'm in the mood for some No Retreat. I do have all 3 on DVD, but again, not really anywhere that highlights that Hwang Jang Lee is there, and that's a shame because he is a big star of Kung Fu cinema, and it would have been a great idea to pop him on there. Now, Shaolin the Blood Mission, I can't remember. I do know that he is in this, he appears in this, maybe he guest stars or just shows up as the bad guy, but I don't remember much about it. And again, this is put out on a very, very cheap label, but I may have to go back to this and check it out one more time just to get a reminder of Hwang Jang Lee's part throughout this movie. Snake in the Eagle's Shadow, I have two versions of this. Of course, the first is one of the earliest Hong Kong Legends releases, along with Drunken Master, Hitman, Drive, different movies like that. But this I could not wait to upgrade, and it is absolutely worth it. Just a completely different experience from watching it on the video. And the video did only offer the English dub, whereas this gave you dual options of its original language and the English dub, I do believe. Yeah, it did indeed. So yeah, this would have been a first watch for me in its original language, but just a friggin' classic movie all over. And then the German DVD release, which I much prefer the cover, of course. It's a lot more exciting and really highlights what the movie is all about there. And of course, this is the uncut version. And when I say uncut, it just keeps in that little bit of animal cruelty where the cat and the snake are fighting each other, and then Jackie gets the idea of how to fight. We don't see that in the UK release, and there is that bit of a jump and confusion slightly. We get the picture, but whenever you watch that German cut, you do get the whole thing there. Now, this one I used to have on video, and I'm kicking myself for getting rid of it because I really loved it, and it came in a big yellow box. And this was an 1991 American movie called Street Soldiers. And again, I only picked this up on video because Hwang Jang Lee was in it, as were a few other Korean actors. But for me, it was all about him, and he's very silent in it from what I can remember. It's been some time since I watched it, and you can see they are really highlighting his name here on the front cover. But this is a fantastic movie. There's nothing perfect or special about it, but in terms of just gang action, kind of like The Warriors type of a thing, although not as classy. The Warriors is absolutely one of my favorites, but it's still a lot of fun, and just to see Hwang Jang Lee kicking ass on a different continent is even better. But yeah, Street Soldiers, this is the German DVD release. So whenever they put that out there, I was very happy to get that. But last but not least is Where's Officer Tuba from Sammo Hung. Again, another fun movie that Hwang Jang Lee appears in. He gets a couple of kicks in. Not an extensive role, but great to see him pop up in there. And this is another one that I really hope that Eureka or even 88 Films are going to give us on Blu-ray sometime soon. It's a lot of fun. Sammo Hung, Jackie Chung, Joey Wong, and it's not perfect. Again, it's a product of its time, but it is a lot of fun, and there are some fantastic fight scenes in there, especially when Hwang Jang Lee is on the scene. Anyway, that's all the VCDs and DVDs. Let's move on to the Blu-rays and media books. So continuing on with the Blu-rays and media books, and of course those media books will come with Blu-rays. The first of which is the German media book for Magnificent Warriors. Now there's about 3 or 4 different cover designs for this release. This is probably the last one I would have chose, but it was sent to me by Cargo Movies to review, so beggars can't be choosers. Still very happy to have this in my collection. It does come with the Blu-ray and the DVD on the back there, and of course this 16-page wonderful booklet inside, which showcases a lot of great photos from the movie and on set. But this is a wonderful piece. I'm really happy to have it in my collection. And the other is this fabulous piece from Shamrock Media. Again, a German media book with the Blu-ray, with extended versions in there as well. There's like a longer Japanese version. I think the Korean version is also on here. Somebody had said it was like an Easter egg, but just look at that cover. It is spectacular, absolutely spectacular. And on the back there is a clip of Hwang Jang Lee in action. But I adore this movie so much, and I really hope that Eureka or 88, I have a funny feeling 88 might grab it to put out there in this gorgeous deluxe edition, because it deserves it. It is absolutely one of my favorite Hong Kong movies, without a doubt. Everyone involved is just perfect, and Hwang Jang Lee is an absolute treat to watch. But this is one of my favorite covers for this movie, and I will never be parting with that. Now, I'll start with these box sets over here on my right, and of course I talked about Ninja Terminator getting this Blu-ray release, and just look at this. It was gorgeously put together. I mean, stunningly, and look what you get. I mean, there's the original movie is in there also, The Uninvited Guest of the Star Ferry, which I was really surprised to see, but there is quite the restoration on Ninja Terminator, and it is just great. Any chance to see Hwang Jang Lee in full HD is a treat. And this, of course, I mean, yes, a lot of people said we could have spent our money on something better, but I still loved the fact that this has gained enough of a cult following that it deserved to get a full restored HD version. Love it. Okay, then we have the Game of Clones box set, which was a stunning release. 12 restored Bruceploitation classics, one of which is Challenge of the Tiger, the fantastic Challenge of the Tiger with Bruce Lee with one E, Richard Harrison, and of course Hwang Jang Lee. And he is part of this collection, and that's what makes this pretty special. But apart from that, it is an amazing set, and I'm really looking forward to the Game of Clones box 2. I really hope it is coming, because this was absolutely fantastic. And none of these are Hwang Jang Lee collections. He just happens to be in certain movies that are involved there, including Eureka's release of Cinematic Vengeance, a bunch of Joseph Koo movies, beautifully packaged, beautifully put together. But we have 36 Deadly Styles in there, and that is the one where Hwang Jang Lee and Bolo Yeung both don these crazy wigs. It's a very fun movie, kind of an underrated piece of Joseph Koo, and just a straight-laced kung fu movie, a bit of comedy in there, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. But this box set is gorgeous, and if you do ever see it on eBay and you haven't had the chance, it is absolutely well worth picking up. Next to that, then, I have two Bruce Lee sets. I have the Criterion, Bruce Lee, his greatest hits. Of course, Game of Death 2, Tower of Death is on here. This was the first time I would have seen this completely fully restored. I think 2K restored, which was gorgeous. Absolutely. I mean, probably the best I had ever seen that movie look, until Arrow put out this mega set from oh my god, Bruce Lee at Golden Harvest. This is just one of my favorite ever things to have in this studio amongst my collection. This weighs a ton, but is absolutely stunning. Just a gorgeous piece. And yet, once again, Game of Death 2, Tower of Death is in there, and that is the only reason it is a part of this Hwang Jang Lee collection. But apart from that, it is gorgeous to share with you. And of course, a lot of people missed out because these sold out like hotcakes. If you're a Bruce Lee fan, a Golden Harvest fan, or just a Kung Fu movie fan, that is well worth tracking down. I know the single Blu-rays and 4Ks are out there, and that is a 4K set. So now seeing Game of Death 2, Tower of Death in 4K, mwah, just beautiful. Anyway, Blu-rays then. So what I have here, Drunken Master from Hong Kong Rescue. Now, I really don't like promoting this guy. He's a bit of an arse, but he did an amazing job on the releases that he got out there. Not the releases that he didn't send to me after I paid for them, because I never got to see those, but the ones that I did, he did an amazing job. And this was one of his earliest. Drunken Master, of course, we've been through it with videos, VCDs, DVDs, the whole lot. But this was the first Blu-ray version that I had seen of this movie. So to see these guys kicking ass in full HD, as I say, was just tremendous. Loved it. All the extra features, again, he put more work into that than most distributors do today. And that's the sad thing. If someone had employed him, say Arrow, 88, Vinegar Strip, whatever it was, to really work hard and work together on putting these classic Hong Kong movies out there, I think Shout Factory should really get a hold of him for what they have coming. Next up, there are two more versions of Magnificent Warriors. We have Eureka videos and 88s. Now, 88s went out in the States only, but I wanted to get my hands on this because just look at that cover in comparison. So Sean Longmore, of course, did this one. He has signed a poster for me that is in my poster book now. I don't have it in here any longer, but I wanted to get it for that reason alone. They pretty much look the same with the restorations and that, but I do feel that this is the superior release for me overall. Still, I quite enjoyed this. I like what Eureka have done, and it's two more Blu-ray versions to add to that media book of this fantastic movie. Let me just pop them down quickly. And then we have Eureka's Blu-ray release of Millionaire's Express, and this is a wonderful release. Darren Wheeling gives us some fabulous artwork for a change, but everything included on that set is tremendous. Such a selection of cuts, selections of audios, tons of extra features there, but it is just a wonderful piece all over. And of course, Hwang Jang Lee, again, in full HD, what more could you want? It's a tremendous release, and if you haven't already got it in your set, in your collection, you should be embarrassed. You need to pick that up. It is amazing. Then 88 Films released this Shaw Brothers classic. I suppose it is, because The Kid from Kwangtung is not one that was ever, not that I know, put out on video in the rental days in the 80s or 90s here in the UK. It's not a movie that I ever came across. It could well have happened, but I didn't know about it until 88 Films put this out, and I loved it. Such a fantastic kung fu comedy, and again, Hwang Jang Lee is just superb in this. I mean, absolutely fantastic, and I just wish that he had had the chance to do more with Shaw Brothers. But this is a classic for me. It is tremendous, and definitely one you should check out. And of course, beautifully restored, beautifully restored. So 88 Films, Snake in the Eagle's Shadow. Look at this gorgeous, gorgeous artwork from Kung Fu Bob. Probably my favorite of his work. And not being biased, because I take part on this Blu-ray. I give an interview on the movie itself, Jackie Chan, Hwang Jang Lee, Yuen Woo-ping. So I do get a nice little special feature on here. But this artwork for me is one of the absolute finest from Kung Fu Bob. And this is going to be a slip that I take with me next time I go to Korea, in the hope that Hwang Jang Lee will have me back for another cup of tea. But this is beautiful, and again, just one of my all-time favorite releases. Maybe we might get a 4K release from 88 Films, who knows, but for me that artwork is top. That is amazing. So then I have a Nova Media Blu-ray release of Millionaire's Express. It's not as gorgeous or restored as what Eureka have done, and I know that Arrow Video have also put this out on Blu-ray in the States, and I still have to get my hands on it, but it's just another chance. And this was probably one I got before I got the Eureka one, to see everyone in action in full HD. So I'll not be getting rid of it. It is a beautiful little piece. No, not heavy on special features. No Nova Media release is heavy on special features, but it is a South Korean label. I suppose that lends itself to the man we are celebrating here in this show. And last but not least, Iron Angels 1, 2 and 3. This tremendous and gorgeous trilogy restored and put out on Blu-ray for the first time ever by Vinegar Syndrome, who I cannot thank enough, because this is a long time coming. It is incredible. And as I said before, Iron Angels is just one of my all-time faves. So to see that restored beautifully, and to see Hwang Jang Lee in action and modern day action, but this is one of my faves with him, and this is just a genuine treat. I will never ever be parting with that. Even if the discs break, I'll never be parting with it. Anyway, I think that's about it. So there we have it, folks, my Hwang Jang Lee collection. It is not a complete collection by any means. There's still a lot more titles I need to get my hands on, but for what I've got, I'm actually quite surprised. I thought I had a lot less, but I'm very, very happy with this. I hope you were too. If you're still here, thanks for sticking around. Thank you for watching, and thank you for your continued support. It is greatly, greatly appreciated. Don't forget to check out Hwang's book. Try and find that online. It is absolutely well worth picking up. But for now, this has been another episode of Show and Tell. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, enjoy your Kung Fu, and I will see you soon.